welcome to Reginaldesq. I'm Underhook and this is my review or re-review of the Tier 5 French Scout tank, the AMX ELC BIS. I say re-review because I did review this tank about 5 years ago, or over 5 years ago, when it wasn't a BIS, and it used to see Tier 9 matches. Back then Scout tanks had to go into really high tier games. They changed the tank quite a while ago when they changed the matchmaking that Scout tanks saw and gave it the BIS designation, and the tanks changed quite a bit, which I will talk about during the gameplay. So is this tank any good? Yeah, it is. It's a good tank, mainly because it has really good camouflage. It has the best camouflage in its class, which is because it's a very low profile, and it still maintains though also equal best view range, which is kind of weird because a tank this low shouldn't have good view range. There's a few things like this in water tanks where they just, for balance reasons, make things absurdly good or bad in certain areas. Now, it is realistically a tank destroyer. It only has 15 degrees of gun traverse to either side, and that is this tank's severe limitation. But it's also interesting. Now, I have binoculars and a camouflage net fitted because I've set this up as a passive scout. I don't think it's a really good active scout. I also have vents fitted to try and boost everything a little bit. And I've used two of my female crew members from the Christmas thing. So we have, I think it's Jade Winters as the commander, and I think it's June Chili Wind. I think that's what happens if you eat too much chili. Anyway, they both have brothers in arms. They both have camouflage at 100%. The commander is working on Sixth Sense, which of course won't be active yet, and Chili Wind's got, I think it's Smooth Ride she's working on. So yeah, let's have a look at the tank comparison and then we'll get into some gameplay. So here are the Tier 5 Scout tanks. This is a camouflage, and you can see here the AMX ELC has far and away the best camouflage and maintains its camouflage whilst moving, as all of the Tier 5 Scout tanks do. The next best camouflage is the T50 with 17.73. We can see here we're 21.89 in the AMX ELC. So great camouflage and equal best view range means that it's pretty good at scouting. Now, if we move over now and have a look at the actual tanks, the only one that was missing on the camouflage they haven't put in yet is the T50-2, which I thought was a premium tank. They reintroduced it as a premium tank, wasn't it? Or it's a semi-premium. But anyway, it's come up here on Tanks GG as being a standard tank, so we'll go with the flow. We can have a look here. The AMX ELC has a very low damage per minute, and that's because the gun takes a long time to reload, although it does do a lot of damage. Penetration of 120 is far and away the best in class. So if you're like me and you don't use gold ammunition, this tank is kind of good because it can still penetrate a lot of tanks the others just can't with their standard ammunition. Damage of 240 is more than double that of any of the others. So I guess one of the gameplay methods in this tank is, if you want to do damage, is that you're able to hit, penetrate and do a lot of damage to other tanks without having to take as many chances, because usually when you shoot your gun in the scout tank, if you're within view range, you get spotted. Because this gun's doing damage, okay, you're getting spotted, but you're not getting spotted as often because you don't have how many shoot as often, and you're doing more damage when you do shoot. So it's kind of okay if you like that sort of play style. So the rate of fire, well, gee whiz, it takes 14 seconds to load the gun. The next worst is the M7, which takes 4.6 seconds to load the gun. So don't get in a brawl with these tanks. Although you can do a lot of damage with a single shot, you just cannot win in a brawl because, well, two reasons. One, they have fully traversable turrets, which we don't. So we can't, if we're circling each other, we can't point our gun at them, but they can point their gun at us and we're stuffed. So don't get in a brawl with another light tank. It's never a good thing. However, if a tank only has a couple of 100 hit points left, which does happen to scouts towards the end of the game, a single shot from this gun will take them out. So it can be good at the end of the game to just drive up and smash them. So the caliber of the gun is 90mm. The next biggest is 75mm on the Chaffee and the M7. So you can overmatch up to sort of 29mm of armor, which is kind of handy as well. The other really good thing about this gun is it has 930 shell velocity, which is far and away better than the others. The next closest is the T50 with 870, But like the Chaffee and M7 only have 619, so that means that when we shoot at moving targets, you've got a much better chance of hitting them, especially if they're far away. The ammo capacity 36 is plenty, you're never going to run out. The aim time isn't good, and this is where the downside of the tank comes in. 2.9 seconds to aim. The next worst is 2.2 from the T50-2, and all of the others are under 2 seconds. So the aim time of 2.9 is a bit like almost a heavy tank aim time, and that is an issue. 0.38 dispersion it's pretty bad, the accuracy, but they're all pretty bad other than the M7. So yeah. Yes, it has light tank accuracy, which is awful. The, what else was I looking at? The gun elevation is only 13 degrees, which is really poor. So if you're on a downward slope shooting, onto someone at the other side of a valley, for example, is almost impossible. Gun depression is only 5 degrees. The next worst is 7 from the 2 Russian ones. All the rest have 8 or more. So it's not a hill fighter, and the gun depression can be an issue. Gun traverse of 15 degrees to either side, whereas all the others have fully traversable turrets, is of course the major issue with this tank. You basically can only shoot things that are in front of you. It really is basically a tank destroyer. Forward speed of 60, and it takes a long time to get to 60. It's not a powerful tank. It feels kind of slow. Now the others, most of them are 60 as well. Chaffee 62, and the T50-2, which I think is a premium, is 72 kilometers per hour. So it's in line with the others, but I just think the others actually accelerate a little better than this one. It's not very well geared. Its power to weight ratio is about average. Its weight though is very, very light. It's only 6.7 tonne. So even other scouts, the next lightest is the T50-2 at 12 tonne. So any tank that rams you will do maximum damage, and really never ram anybody unless you're going to die anyway, because, well, you're going to die. The terrain resistances are kind of average. The track traverse is 39.6, or about 40 degrees a second, which puts it on the downside. It's slightly better than a T50 and a Leopard, but not as good as the others. So poor track traverse, especially in a tank that doesn't have a traversable turret, is not a good thing. Also, the tank walks forward when you move. When you turn your tracks from side to side, the tank walks forward. So if you're in a bush and you're in sniper mode, you're turning from side to side looking at different targets, you'll actually walk forward out of the bush. It doesn't turn on the spot, so watch out for that. What else can we tell you? View range of 360 is the equal best. The poor Russians have terrible view range, of course. Radio range is really bad though at 400, so if you're a long way away you may not be able to communicate with your artillery. And that's about all I have to say. The map is Live Oaks, and it's a tier 6 match. So we're in our tier 5 scout tank. On this particular game I do a little bit of spotting, but not much. In tier 5 games now I've realised it's not worth doing spotting at all, because nobody will come out from behind the rock and shoot anything you spot. Now if you notice a lot of jerkiness in the replay at the moment, it does smooth out a little bit later. It's actually just lag. Even though my ping is from 20 to 50 on the Australian server here, there's a lot of lag on the Australian server at the moment, or maybe it's just my internet, because my internet is terrible. But there are a few people complaining about it at the moment, about the lag on the Australian server. And yeah, so I get a bit of rubber banding and stuff, and as you can see my gun sort of just jerks from side to side there. That's just lag catching up, and so yeah. Yeah, it is hard to play. Sometimes I miss shots and stuff because of it, but what do you do? So with that, didn't have a shot on that guy, but this guy, if he stays still long enough for me to fully aim, and look at that reticle, it's getting in pretty tight. He's 420 metres away, and we didn't have much chance of missing that shot really. So like I say, World of Tanks, the stats on the guns are a load of baloney, because it said 0.38, and I've had plenty of 0.38 tanks where if you fire from 400 metres like that, the circle is not that big. It's so not that small. So I don't know, guys. Don't know. Just saying. Just saying. Anyway, as I said, tier 5 matches, I do not bother scouting at all. I just use this like a tank destroyer. It took me a fair few games to work that out, but yeah, it's just a total waste of time. Now, that may vary depending on the server you play on. People may play differently, but certainly on the Australian server, it's just pointless. Also, because you only have, I think it's 320 hit points in this thing, it's very low on hit points. You can get one shot, and certainly with HE, Artie can one shot you as well. So you kind of want to be a little bit careful with the spotting. You don't have the kind of acceleration or speed like that M225, our Russian scout tank up ahead of us there, has. So you can't like use speed to get out of trouble in this tank. Once you're spotting this tank, good chance you're dead because it's just not that quick. Now, to let you know, the tank used to, because I did say I'll tell you about how it used to be. So it used to see, Tier 5 scouts used to see Tier 9 battles, and I think Tier 6 scouts used to see Tier 10 battles. So it was pretty rough back in the day, but I think the highest tier scout tanks you could get back then was, maybe it was Tier 6. Maybe you couldn't get scout tanks above Tier 6. Certainly not above Tier 8 anyway. So you were still sort of valued by the team because you were out to do spotting. But let me see now. So it used to have 400 hit points instead of 320, which is fair enough if you're seeing Tier 9s, right? However, one of the big things, it used to have 250 horsepower, whereas now it only has 180 horsepower. It used to have a top speed of 65, now its top speed is only 60, but the main thing is that power difference. I never considered it to be a super rapid accelerating tank anyway. You can see that hitting that T-54, we took more than half his hit points away. That's where this gun is good. And we get the spotting damage for the rest of his health. That was nice. Yeah, so, and watch the accuracy right here. I am going to land this shot. Look how well I aimed him, 483 metres. The accuracy in this game is complete fiction. They just set it at whatever they want, or they set the dispersion. Dispersion means nothing. It's really how often it disperses them rather than the amount. It's just, anyway, if that doesn't prove it's baloney, I don't know what does. 0.38 it's supposed to be. Anyway, so yeah, it was a lot quicker, and back in the day I fitted torsion suspension to it because it was so quick. It used to track itself, like it would get airborne all the time going over bumps, and when it landed it would track itself. I think, because it was over 5 years ago when I first reviewed this tank, and back then tracks were a lot weaker on tanks. It was much easier to track tanks with a shot, and it was much easier to track yourself going over bumps and things. And this thing, if it tracked itself, it was basically dead since speed was its big thing. So yeah, I used to fit tracks, but nowadays there's no reason to fit tracks. I don't think anybody does anymore. But if you're wondering why they even have tracks as an option, an extra to put on your tank, that was why. Also meant that if you got shot in the tracks, that was harder to track, which when tracks were weak was a bigger deal because you get tracked. So I fire straight into the side of this guy's tank, but somehow I must have hit his gun or something because we did nothing. He damages us and must have hit our gun as well because we got gun damage. I just repaired it. Now the gun was also nerfed, which you would expect when it's been changed from seeing tier 9s to maximum seeing what does it see now? Maximum tier 7s. I had it for a while. I think they took it down one tier, so they saw tier 8s, and then they moved it down again. And that's when they put the BIS designation on the end of this tank. It used to just be the AMX ELC. So the gun penetration used to be 170 millimeters, which would be awesome if you were top tier, which didn't happen that often because you had such a big spread of tiers that you could be in. But when you were, it was great. So it used to have 170, now it's only got 120, which is fine. But it used to have a 5 rounds a minute rate of fire, whereas now it's 4.29. So they reduced the rate of fire as well, which is a bit of a bummer. But such is life. The dispersion and the aim time were the same back then as they are now. So maybe that gives you a bit of an idea. I think the view range and signal range are the same now as they used to be as well. Actually, no, the signal range was worse back then. It was only 360. Now it's 400, which was really ridiculous that the radio range was so bad back then. So I'm glad they sort of beefed that up a little bit. But yeah, its power to weight ratio now is really bad, and it doesn't feel like, look at me moving now. What speed am I doing? 53? You know, that's top speed, and look, you hit a fence and it slows down to 30. It's just got no power. So anyway, waiting for the reload, and we're going to finish this guy off, hopefully. Oh, when somebody else hits him, at least we're going to get the kill, but we only get 75 points of damage, unfortunately. Anyway, I moved the other way because I don't want to drive out in front of this AMD. I don't know where he's been spotted the other side. He's near our cap, so I probably haven't noticed that, and I'm Yeah, look, I'm still going the wrong way. I think he might be up here somewhere and I'm going from bush to bush. But yeah, the tank is slow. I'm just going to... actually, I'll end it there. What happens is he gets into a fight with our M6. I go back to Cap to try and get him to come and reset Cap. Look how slow we went through those fences. Now, well, see how much we slowed down with this fence. 47, 49, 50, 47. Another fence here, 50 down to 46. Not too bad, I guess. Anyway, I try and reset, go on Cap to make him come, but he never comes and he gets killed by M6. End of the game. That was a class 2 in the tank, and we got a Confederate as well. And what did we do? We finished second in our team. So we fired 11 shots, 9 of them hit, so it was pretty good accuracy. 5 of them penetrated. A bit unlucky with one of the pins there for sure. Total damage of 1,002. No, 1,102. Okay, and nearly all of that was over 300 meters range. So gun accuracy is actually pretty good for a light tank. Enemy vehicles damaged 7, destroyed 1, a little bit of assistance damage, so we didn't really do much spotting at all, and we got 36 cat points as well. 23,000 for a tier 5 tank is pretty profitable actually. The map is Fisherman's Bay, and this time we're top tier. It's a tier 5 game, and there are also 5 bots on each team. So now it is all tier 5s, there are no tier 4s. But the bots should hopefully drive out in front of our gun, which will be really nice. Please drive in front of my gun, bots. So I'm going to what used to be the best spotting position on this map, but a lot of people now avoid driving anywhere where they can be seen from here. People have sort of woken up to it, so you can't do as well in this position as you used to, but this tank is so small I can move up and not be spotted from either side. Now, we spotted the KB1 straight away as soon as our binoculars kicked in. I'm not going to bother trying to shoot it because I don't want to give away my position. We've also got the STRV there, which we've somehow spotted through those bushes. I don't know how the heck we managed to spot it going behind those bushes, but we somehow did. You can see the M7 there on the left. Can't spot me because I'm completely in the bushes here. So this is one advantage of being in a very small tank. You can completely conceal yourself, so even if someone comes driving around the other side, they still won't spot you. Very stealthy indeed. Yes, very stealthy. So we've lost 2 tanks already, not looking good. They're both bots though. Now I decide to take a shot here. Boom. Want to make sure of it, fully aimed. Unfortunately he gets a shot into me and he does track me and damages my engine. Oh no, he doesn't track me, just damage my engine, which made me stop completely. I just repaired my engine now, and you can see there we're down to 171 hit points. So getting hit at all in this tank is bad. Artillery just misses us, thankfully. So that STRV did 149 damage to us, which, yeah, really bad. I moved back a little bit from where I was because the arty looked like it was getting ready. I fired the gun there and completely missed. So whilst the accuracy of this gun is good, it does have a very long aim time, 2.9 seconds. So when something just drives in front of your gun, you think, oh, I'm just going to take the shot because it's, you know, it's going to go, I have to shoot. Really rare to hit, unfortunately. So fully aimed, really good. Not fully aimed, really bad. Hence, it's also very bad at firing on the move, as we saw last game when I tried to shoot that. I think it was the Skoda where I think we must have hit the gun, which was nowhere near where I was aiming, and when we tried to shoot artillery and we missed. When it's on the move, it's awful. In fact, just not fully aimed, it's awful. Let's leave it at that. So in this game, I know I said spotting at tier 5 is pretty much pointless, but I was in this game trying to do some spotting, but at least it gives you a bit of an idea of if you have a decent team, or if you're on a team maybe in a tier 6 or tier 7 game, you know, what you might be able to do with spotting. So I'm going to try and hit this. I'm hoping I can finish him off with a shot, and so in which case I don't care about getting spotted. So we did actually finish him with 213. So you see there, like if you're in a normal scout tank with 110 damage, which I think is the next best damage in scout tank, wouldn't have been able to finish off with a single shot. So I would have got spotted, but the tank would have still been alive. Now we only hit him twice and he's gone. So that's the advantage of this tank, is that you can do things like that. Now I'll pull into this position here, see if we can do some spotting from here now. I don't want to sit further back because I'm worried about that KB1 perhaps spotting me. I kind of tempted to move forward, but I'm worried there'll be a bunch of tank destroyers down the back. And here is, in fact, a tank destroyer, a Wolverine. I could probably shoot him from here without being spotted by him. And I do decide to take the shot. I wasn't quite sure that I couldn't remember in this game whether I decided to take the shot, because I was a bit worried about being spotted by somebody else. But they'd have to be pretty much in front of me to spot me because of the buildings and stuff around me. And really, there's not many bushes close enough to me. And so I decided to take the chance, and it paid off. We got a good hit in there, and you saw that when we hit that Wolverine, about, I don't know where it was, about 60 or 70% of his health just disappeared. So it's kind of good in that it is a bit like a tank destroyer, right? The gun does the job. The gun is good. Its real disadvantage is just that if another scout tank comes after you, you're a goner. So we've got this Panzer IV here on my left. I decided to put the wall between me in case he proximity spots me. But it looks like he's oblivious to me, so I decide to go up and have a shot. Someone else has hit him, so he might be able to get the killing hit here. And as you can see, I totally missed. The gun was not fully aimed. I had to move my gun, and I was reaching the end of my traverse, so I had to rush the shot. Somehow he still hasn't spotted me. Is he a bot? No, he was not a bot, believe it or not. And I think Artie gets him. At least we get a little bit of spotting damage for it. I can't really even see that KV-1. I'm hoping he'll pop out somewhere where I can shoot him and finish him off. I'm a bit worried about sitting out in front of those bushes there where if the KV-1 does spot me, someone can shoot, a tank destroyer can shoot me from the back. So I decided to just sort of wait here, even though the KV-1 has more chance of spotting me here. Now I noticed there's that P-43 up behind there. I don't want to get spotted from that side, so now I decide to move back in here. Although I now can't see the KV-1, but all of our tanks on that side where the KV-1 was are now dead. So I'm not spotting for anybody on that side of the map. Here we have an enemy tank destroyer. It's decided to move forward, so he actually probably was just down the back there and probably could have done a bit of damage to me. We've got a KV-1 moving up here as well. He's protected by that tank from my shot at the moment. This is a real concern now. I'm moving to position so I can hit the KV-1. But I don't have that shot. What about this guy? I fire and miss because we weren't fully aimed. And now the pressure's on because it's getting closer. I've decided maybe to go around now and have a shot at this guy. So I'm waiting for my gun to reload before I expose myself. Here we go now. Aim, 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 aim. Wow. That one went in. And we actually weren't completely fully aimed yet. Now I decide to run because that KV-1's probably coming after me. We're in a bit of bother now. There's only 5 tanks left on our team and 2 of them are bots. The enemy also has 2, but they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tanks remaining against our 5, so it's not looking too good. There's the KV-1. He hasn't seen me, and he even backs out in front of him. Thank you very much. And angle's just enough for me to get a good shot on the green there. Oh, I can see the enemy tank destroyer is trying to get shots on me. KV-1 takes a shot. Hopefully I'm not spotted anymore. Artillery is raining down on me. I decided not to drive out in front of that 60G FT, which actually we just got some spotting damage there. Someone hit it. I can see the KV-1 over there. I don't think he's managed to spot me. I can see this Wolverine. Should we take a long range shot? Since he's decided to stop in front of our gun, why not? And our shot went a little bit low. I wasn't quite fully aimed. Now I'm pretty sure it's one of them's a bot and one of them's not. The Wolverine's remaining on their team, so I don't know which one that was. I've got a green indicator there, but should we aim for the green indicator? Let's aim for it. And we're lucky and we hit it. So fully aimed, the accuracy's pretty good because the green area wasn't that big. Don't know if we got spotted there. Actually, I shouldn't say I don't know if we got spotted. We've got 6 cents, so we weren't spotted. I've been driving the T21 for ages. It took me 95 games in it to get 6 cents. And I'm so used to now driving a scout tank without 6 cents that I just keep moving even though I haven't been spotted. Alright. So that's pretty good then. The KV-1 couldn't spot us at that range. Oh, I just saw a tree go down. I don't know if you just saw it. A tree went down that middle line between the 2 rocks there. I don't know if I saw that when I was playing the game. I don't think I did. It looks like someone's getting positioned to move. Now I'm having ping spikes now. You can see my ping is 694 milliseconds. And that's why I'm sitting here. I have completely lost control of my tank. It's now settling down. 420 milliseconds is still bad. Probably can't hit this tank. It's back up to 8. It's 800 now. So I forgot. That happened, I think that was happening about the time I shot the KV-1. My ping has now corrected itself. It's now 20 something. About 20 even. Really good now. But yeah, we had a massive ping spike there. So now we'll line up, see if we can get rid of this KV-1, which would be really nice. My ping's going up again. It's now 500. And you can see here the gun won't move. I've got the guy is a sitting duck and I can't even aim at him. And I fire there and yep, we miss the green part, we hit a red part, orange part, and we don't penetrate. So basically it was the ping spike completely stopped me. Now I can guarantee you that guy would have died if it wasn't for the ping spike. Anyway, we're getting another chance, and once again the ping's back up. It's 600, 700 now. I shoot, and yeah, you can't, it's almost impossible to aim. He fires back at us, so I think I either have been spotted or he's just shooting in the general direction. You can see my gun sort of jerking around. The ping is still over 600. Wait for the reload, and even that was on an orange, we fire. Luckily for us, I think it was tracked. So he was completely stationary. Normally with bad lag or bad ping, I have to wait. Sort of, I aim and then wait an extra second. You see me there crash into the rock because my ping's still bad. I like wait an extra full second before I fire because even though your gun's aimed on the server, you haven't fully aimed. So I usually wait a bit longer. I'm just stopping here because I'm just typing to my teammates. My ping is still really bad, so I don't expect too much from me. You can see it going up and down like a yo-yo. Anyway. So we have evened up the game now. It's now 4 tanks all. 2 bots on each side. The enemy has their 2 artillery, are their human players, and we have my artillery, the one remaining, and myself. So I don't want to head straight across the open there because I'm a bit worried of getting spotted and shot. Thing with the bots is they're not great, but if they aim at you, they don't kind of miss. So we hit the enemy grill here, who is a human player. I'm a bit worried about getting hit by the other grill, so I take the long way and I don't actually bother trying to finish that grill. I'm hoping my arty will finish him, and my arty does in fact splash him. I didn't want to be greedy there and risk sort of dying just to get the kill, but my arty actually splashes him and misses. So their arty has seen me knocking down walls and things and taken a shot at me. I am knocking down the walls, and as you can see, this thing is tragically slow when it hits walls. It just basically virtually stops the tank. So now I'm just trying to get in a position where I can spot this guy. Artie was not able to finish the job, so it looks like we'll have to do it ourselves. 4 hit points with a 15-second aiming loading time is not really worth it, but yeah. So moving along the bottom here, trying to avoid artillery fire and also just get in a position where I can maybe come up with a spot. They know where I am pretty much now, so may actually be looking for me. Just waiting for my binoculars to kick in before I move off. Oh, I didn't let them kick in. That was a bit silly of me. Just basically heading from bush to bush here so I can see where the enemy is. So the game's only got 2 minutes 49 seconds remaining, so I'm aware that the other two tanks on my team are bots, and they've got a couple of bots. Bots could be anywhere. Now we've got the T67 here. My gun depression will not allow me to shoot, but I decided to just wait and see if my artillery or the T67 bot, which is up there on our team, can get a shot in, because he's just sitting there, and hopefully they can get a shot in. So that because I can't kill him with one shot, and I don't want to risk him killing me. Now I can kill him with one shot, so I decided to move forward and finish the job. You see his gun now started turning towards me after I got spotted. I now decide to run, and we took 96 from the grill. The grill actually hit exactly where he was aiming. But we now know the approximate location of the enemy grill, which is going to be up the, I'm assuming it's around the A2 area, but it was from that general direction. So I wait till I'm no longer spotted and start heading up, and it should be now a simple matter. We've got 4 tanks there too. It should be a simple matter now of finding the Wolverine. So I'm going to head up to this bush here, and then going after the Arati after that.
We're done for.
What the? Okay, so somehow their grill spotted me before I spotted him, even though I was going from bush to bush. I guess proximity... anyway, well done to the grill. I thought he was much further back than that, and I wouldn't have got spotted. So, yeah. There's more bots than humans left. What's going on? The game ended in a draw. There was basically about a minute left. On reflection, I shouldn't have driven in a straight line. I should have been sort of zigzagging while I was driving. Because the tank isn't very quick, it kind of doesn't feel good to zigzag because it just takes a lot longer. And I thought, there's not much time left. I have to get these guys. And my mistake. I shouldn't have driven in a straight line. Anyway, as you can see, we spotted a lot of tanks. We've got mastery and high caliber for that game. So I guess because we got a medal, we would have got courageous resistance. So we didn't lose any XP, I guess, from it anyway. I can't read the amount of damage there, but I'll probably be able to read it on the next screen. 759 XP isn't much, but that would be before courageous resistance, I think. Shots fired 16. We hit 11 of them. Out of the 11, they hit 10 penetrated. So when you're top tier, penetration is not a problem at all. 1,625 damage is not bad from a distance of more than 300 meters, 252. So most of it was fairly close range in this particular game compared to last game. We spotted 8 tanks. We damaged 7, destroying 5 of them. So, wow, not bad. Wow, we almost got Top Gun. Assistance damage 1180, which is not too bad considering it's tier 5. Profit wise, well, we did get courageous resistance and we ended up with 37,000 profit. So it is actually a profitable tank. How much XP did we end up with? Well, it was 759 plus 425. What's that, guys? That's going to be 1180 something for mastery. Okay. Thank you for watching my review of the AMX ELC BIS. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe to Reginaldesq. Have fun.